It's time for the Onyx News. Extraterrestrials, time anomalies, dimensions, remote viewing, UFOs, UAPs, and USOs, ghostly encounters, abductions, Bigfoot, and more. Your end of the week news source for everything unexplained. Here is your host for the Onyx News Podcast, Margie K.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Onyx News. I'm your host, Margie K. And this evening we were supposed to have two shows back to back. My first guest is unreachable, so we're early tonight with my second guest. So he will be, boy, this is going to be an interesting show. I do want to mention a couple of things. We've got some new books out by Onyx Media. How to research a haunted house. We've got a fun paranormal coloring book for adults. And we've got the latest. We got it from them by Dr. Gregory Rogers, How Humanity Received ET Technology. So do check that out on the UNX Network website at unxnetwork.com or unxmedia.com. All right. So if you want to join us in the chat, of course, you can always make a comment and I will pop any questions up or comments that you may have. My guest tonight is Tom Dongo. He is a longtime resident of Sedona, Arizona, and is recognized as a world authority on Sedona. He's one of United States of America's leading authorities on UFOs, paranormal occurrences, and he is a remote viewer, and over the course of many years has been a key lecturer at numerous U.S. national and international conferences, including the International UFO Congress. He studied at the Berkeley International Psychic Institute at Santa Cruz, California, and has spent the last 30 years in the greater Sedona, Arizona area, which is known as one of the premier UFO hotspots of the world. And he's also written 8 books, which we will talk about. And so without further ado, I will bring on Mr. Tom Dongo. Thank you for joining us tonight, Tom.
Caught me eating some spaghetti.
Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry to rush you and get you an hour earlier than you were supposed to be on, but I really wanted to go live with the show. So this is great. And you ended up in Sedona, but let's go back to whenever you got interested in these subjects. How did that happen?
Well, can you hear me okay now? Is it working?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, good. Well, you know what, I got into it. I had a ski shop in Reno, Nevada, and this is what got me into all of this stuff. So we used to take an hour for lunch every day, and so we did go for a walk or something, and I was walking down the sidewalk, and a giant pair of hands grabbed me. And I've heard of this before. It wasn't just me. I've heard of it before. So it was steering me along the street, and it didn't hurt, but these were giant hands from my shoulder down to my waist. And then it turned me into a parking lot. It was waving me around through cars, and I came to a bookstore, went inside, and it's steering me through the aisles, and and it bent me over. There was a bunch of used books at the bottom shelf. And there was a book, Seth Speaks by Jane Roberts.
Yes.
And I spent 6 months studying that book. It's a phenomenal book. It was, she channeled an entity named Seth. And it was intelligence, not from this earth. It was from nobody's that smart. So anyway, that's what got me into all of this. I guess it got my mind tuned into this stuff. And I've been, you're the 107th worldwide show I've been on in 12 years. But over 100 million people. So I've been around the block a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Now the hands, I assume they were unseen.
yeah.
You just
Yeah.
felt them.
Yeah. So anyway, that's what got me into all of this stuff. I forgot to turn the kitchen light off. I can see it behind me. It's real bright.
Oh,
yeah.
so-
Yeah. So that's what got me into this stuff.
And
so
what year was that?
It must have been 50 years ago now. And I've been in everything. I mean, you can name it, and I've been into it. I'm pretty famous for this stuff.
Obviously, yes.
Yeah. Well, I don't have any ego in it. It hasn't been a lot of money either, but it's something I'm destined to do. I mean, it's obvious now that that was like my agreement when I come into this life, was to be into this stuff. And I have a real strong curiosity. I mean, and no fear. When Linda Bradshaw and I were on the Bradshaw Ranch, we learned one thing. All the stuff that happened out there, we were famous for it. Linda died 3 years ago. She's not here anymore. But we were. I mean, we had camera crew after camera crew after camera crew out there every week. I got so tired of being interviewed, but it was fun. But so we learned that these things, whatever it was that was out there, hated human fear. If somebody was terror-stricken, nothing would happen. But my book, Merging Dimensions, is a very popular book. And do you know about the Bradshaw Ranch, Margie? Oh no, Margie, we lost the sound. No sound.
John, okay. I remote viewed Bradshaw several times for other investigators. I have not been there in person, but I basically was. So
yeah,
I know what's going on there.
Yeah, well, I've been out. I spent 4.5 years out there. I've been out there between 400 and 500 times, and right now, this last week, there's been some fantastic stuff going on out there. I'm 80 years old, so I don't get out in the field too much anymore. But Alejandro Rojas is here. He's a famous guy from Chile, UFOs and everything we do. Alejandro's in it. He doesn't speak. I'm going to meet him tomorrow. He doesn't speak English, but he has a woman with him, I guess, that does. So it's going to be all right. So anyway, Alejandro was out there last night, camped out there by the Bradshaw Ranch. So nothing bad ever happened to anybody on the Bradshaw Ranch. It's not like the Skinwalker Ranch. Mm-hmm. The Skinwalker Ranch is no place to fool around. I know those guys, and so the stuff that went on the Bradshaw Ranch was good stuff. It was positive. And with the Skinwalker Ranch is just the opposite. There's a lot of bad things that happen there. I think there's some kind of a creature. I have a phenomenal psychic ability. I can scan things. I guess I was taught that at the Berkeley Psychic Institute. I learned that I had a lot of psychic abilities that even the best of them didn't. But so I'm able to scan places like radar, and I have I told you earlier, I have I was a medical intuitive, and I did it for years. I found out that if I charged money, it didn't work. I could have, be a millionaire by now if I saw the stuff I worked on. But if I charged money for it didn't work. So I could scan somebody and tell them what was wrong with them. And cancer was hell, absolute hell. But I've even done it on medical doctors with 95% hit rate for the health. And I used to, my office was coffee shops around Sedona. So I would people would come up and ask me all the time, would you scan me, please? And I never turned anybody down. I told them what was wrong with them. But my problem was I couldn't prescribe drugs. There's a guy in Phoenix. Anyway, he could do both. He was phenomenal. I mean, he cured a woman friend of mine. She had something wrong with her. Anyway, she'd sit in a chair and cry all day. She was in such pain. He cured her in 10 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah. And that can be done. I mean, it's just, you know, she'd been to endless doctors. I mean, you know,
Yeah.
endless doctors.
Well, I'm a medical intuitive as well, and I see inside the body.
Yeah.
I know exactly what you're talking about. You can zone in on the problem instantly without going through all these medical tests.
No.
They should hire people like us at every hospital for problem cases. And maybe someday they'll do that. But how did you discover that you were a remote viewer?
Well, you know, that's a interesting thing. You know, I would happily spend the rest of my life in remote viewing. Actually, I haven't used it much in over a year now, I guess. So I'm having to remember things. But I had things happen to me. So I was born with the ability. I realize it now. I was born with a remote viewing ability. And Ingo Swann and Russell Targ. I can't even come close to Ingo Swann, what he could do. Russell Targ, probably fairly close to what he could do. But I have a friend of mine. He's a psychologist, and he lives in Durango, and I was living in Sedona. So he tested me for about 5 months to see how good I was. We want to see how good I was, you know. So, so we did, and I had about an 85% hit rate, which is way above even some of the best remote viewers. He would put stuff out on the table, his dining room table, and I would remote view him, and the animals and the birds could see. The instant I was in the room, they could see me. His dog. I must have looked like a ghost to them.
Yeah.
His dog Binky. I was like I remote view. I would, you know, send myself there, propel myself there, and his dog. I got right in front of the dog one day, and I said, "You little blank blank, you can actually see me, can't you?" And the dog was going, and I was just looking at him, so he could actually see me.
Mm-hmm.
And so Tom tested me, and it was pretty phenomenal. I would appear at his house above his driveway, but the second story, and his office was right there. I would go through the glass window. I'd float through the office window, and then go down his circular stairs and find him. And so this went on for a long time. He's still one of my best friends. Dr. Tom O'Donnell. He's still one of my best friends. So I told him I would never look in the bathrooms. You know, I would never. I'd always look the other way when I went by a bathroom. So I never did. So so I get down there, and this story. I've probably been told this story to 50 million people in the last 12 years. But I felt some terror going down the stairs one time.
Mm.
And Tom I got there half an hour early, and I could see Tom. I watched Tom. He was, you know, he had a red lumberjack shirt on and blue jeans and cowboy boots and cowboy belt and all that. And he was cooking. You can smell, you know, remote view. You can smell stuff as long as you can see.
Mm-hmm.
And so I thought it smelled like spaghetti, and it was something else. He was a gourmet chef of some kind of thing, Italian thing that I never heard of. So anyway, I got you know, it's about halfway down the stairs, and the terror. I looked all around in my mind and scanned everything, and I couldn't see anything. So we had an agreement, me and Tom, that we'd be the only ones there. And so I had come a half an hour early. I think we said 7:30, and I got there at 7. And so I said, Tom, he'd be on the phone, and I'd be floating next to him. It was just crazy stuff. And the bird, I used to go into it. He had a tropical birdhouse, and the birds used to go nuts when I went in there. They'd follow me around. They'd follow me around. They'd follow me around, and I could smell the flowers in this tropical, and the dampness. And they had to be real damp because they were all tropical birds. But they'd be flying around me. So anyway, I said, Tom, I said, like I say, we had the agreement that it was just me and him. And I said, Tom, is there somebody else here? And this still baffles the hell out of me. He said he kind of got a little bit shy, he kind of guilty. And he said, yeah, I invited my next door neighbor over. This still freaks me out. It really does. And he says he's sitting right there on the couch. I could see the couch clearly, but I couldn't see his next door neighbor.
Oh, my.
I couldn't see him at all. And I think somebody said on one of the shows I was on, it might have been somebody that didn't have a soul. I thought, well, yeah, if a guy didn't have a soul, that would make sense. I couldn't see him.
Or maybe extraterrestrial?
Yeah, could have been that too.
Mm-hmm.
I've studied extraterrestrials for over 50 years now, so I know a lot. And I was face to face with an extraterrestrial girl materialized right in front of me. And I had a witness, my girlfriend at the time. We talked for about 10 minutes. And then the girl dematerialized. I mean, poof. There, and then poof, gone. And I could see for hundreds of yards in all directions. And she wasn't, she wasn't human.
Yeah, and you spoke with her?
Yeah, we talked. Me and my girlfriend talked. We were at an Indian ruin near Sedona, Sonawa Indian ruin. And the girl wanted to talk about the petroglyphs that the Indians had left on the rocks. Yeah. So, an interesting thing, they were all sexual. All these petroglyphs that they on the walls, the glyphs, So anyway, and then she, I turned my girlfriend went. It was a dry creek, but the water was roaring because it had been raining for weeks. And so I turned for 2 seconds to talk to her. I turned my head back and the girl was gone. And she was nowhere in sight. And we talked to her,
And your girlfriend saw her too?
Yeah, we talked to her.
Wow.
The girl, the extraterrestrial girl wanted to talk about the petroglyphs. So we did. That's all we talked about. And the funny thing was around here, there's not much crime, but most women have a dog with them, almost always. So I was up. It had been raining the days before, so the mud was 6 inches thick, all over the place, and I was hot and sweaty and tired because you take one step and you got 6 inches of mud on the bottom of your boot, So the girl suddenly appeared in red pants and a white wool sweater. And I saw her come out of the woods, and I was thinking, where did she come from? I mean, she didn't, no dog. Where's the dog? No dog. So she went over and talked to my Petrolina, my girlfriend. And so I motioned the girl. I said, will you come over here? Because I couldn't find the trail down to the ruins. I mean, it was steep. I mean, it was extremely steep now. And I said, you don't happen to know where the trail is that goes down to the ruins. So she went over and she pointed right there by my feet. And I looked, and sure enough, it had rained enough so that I couldn't see. I couldn't find the trail. So we went down there. I mean, she was dressed in street shoes. No way. No. Steep. You had to go from rock to rock and all. So then Petrolina and I were down. She went over by the water in the beginning, and I turned around, and the girl had materialized so close to me. She was behind me, and if I'd have turned, I would have knocked her over. So,
Oh my goodness, that I wonder how many experiences like that you've had throughout your lifetime.
well, if you read my books, I can prove all this stuff that that I talk about. I almost always had witnesses or photographs of something. So the girl spoke so quietly, I had to put my ear right down her mouth. She almost whispered, and it went on that way for 10 minutes at least. So then when I turned back, when Petrolina was like, I can't believe I can remember Petrolina's name. It's been 40 years, probably 30 years. So the girl was right here. I mean, right here. So I turned like this, and I turned back, and she was gone, disappeared. So I could see 100 yards in all directions. She was gone. So, was she something else, a djinn or a succubus? No, I don't think, or ghost, not a ghost. She was, and to this day, I wish I had asked her if I could have touched her, the girl, to make sure she was physical and not ghost. So that's one of my experiences. When I was at the Bradshaw Ranch, we had a lot of stuff like that happen. So,
well, there are other investigators who have done things at Bradshaw, but I must say I have never heard of anything like that. No disappearing people.
Yeah.
Appearing and dissolving people. So what types of other things happen there? Is it every paranormal subject you can think of?
Well, Linda and I, so many crazy things happened to us out there that she would look at me or I would look at her, and I'd say, Linda, I'm glad you saw that too, or I'd be know for sure I'm crazy. So I mean, we did that often. We'd see things. We took 35 millimeter cameras and we took flash pictures, and the next day we would develop the film. That's before digital. And we didn't have a video camera that would film at night. Now there's, they all do. So, I'm glad, as I've been interviewed 100 times about this stuff, and people, I know I'm not lying. I'm not making it up. I mean, you know how some people just, they just make everything up.
It's so fantastic. You can't make that stuff up.
No. And so I can, this last week, some very strange, there was about 10 UFOs out there 3 nights ago, and they filmed it.
Oh,
I can send it to you if you want.
Yeah.
The girl, she's pretty well known. I can't remember her name.
Is it Lily Nova?
Lily Nova, yeah.
Yeah.
How'd you know about that? How'd you?
Because she's a good friend of mine.
Oh, yeah, it was Lily Nova. She was out there. They filmed it. It was her film, her pictures on the front. But I sent that all over the place. And because I used to see that stuff at the Bradshaw Ranch. And these things are, they claimed they were ships, but they're not. These things are life forms from deep space. They've come here from space. And I've watched them enough so that I know there's 2 different types of orbs. And Linda Bradshaw and Linda Pine Bush, New York, they started the whole thing with orbs, and it went worldwide after that. These were different. These things were different. What they photographed, they're not ships. They're some kind of a life form, and they look like it too. They come because the space station videotaped these things. A big video. It was on when that 17-mile thing broke and it was floating.
Right, the tether.
Yeah, all these. That's what they were. and some of those things
Yeah.
were 5 miles across. So those are life forms, and so that's what I think. Was at the bread shop the other night. Well, I can send you that if you want it.
Oh, I have it from her.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. It's
okay.
pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Why do you think it is that all of these different paranormal things happen at Sedona? Because it looks like there are portals there. People have seen extraterrestrials, UFOs, interdimensional beings, you name it.
Well, I've written 8 books, and most of it is about the stuff that happened around Sedona with witnesses. And I don't know. It must have something to do with the red rocks are iron oxide. They're magnetic. It's got to have something to do with that. I know researchers around the world, and no place it's like Sedona. There's no place anywhere else in the world. I know all the hot spots. And I talk to the people. A lot of these shows I've been on, they know everything about around the world. I haven't traveled much, but some of these people have traveled all over. And yeah, that one you just showed, it had a rainbow on the top of the rocks.
Yeah,
pretty cool. Yeah, pretty cool.
Yeah,
That's
it almost looks like Northern Lights.
Yeah.
Above it.
It's a radiation. It's a radiation coming off the rocks.
Wow. Now I visited there several years ago. And I went out to the rocks and I sat on one of the big flat rocks. It's pretty famous. And I lasted about 15 minutes and the energy was just buzzing through my entire body. And I started just vibrating and I was going to pass out.
Yeah.
And I said to my husband, I said, you got to get me out of here because the energy is too high. I'm too sensitive.
Yeah.
So we had to leave. And I thought it would take a person like me a long time to get acclimated to that. With you being such a sensitive, does it affect you that way? No.
I had a medical doctor friend that came here. He'd been all over the world. He healed with rocks. Believe it or not. There was something else I was going to talk about. I don't want to forget it. My mind has a tendency to wander. So anyway, I took him to an Indian ruin in Long Canyon. That's about 3 miles back in Sedona. And he said, this is the most powerful spot I've felt anywhere in the world. Linda Bradshaw could see and sense these things better than I could. So anyway, he said this is the most powerful spot I found. He traveled all over the world. He said this is the most. It was in an Indian ruin, way up on what's called the benches, way up there. And so he said this is the most powerful place I've been anywhere in the world. So I knew all of those spots. Most of the Indian ruins, the Sonawa Indian ruins around here, were built on those power spots. So yeah, I've had a good time. I've had things happen to me. I've been on multiple shows. We talk about this stuff. It's things that happen to me, and I don't know why. I'm always saying, why me? Why me? Why me? I've had things happen to me that's just phenomenal, over and over and over. And I say, why me? Why? So.
Well, why do you think it is?
I don't know. I don't know. Something protects me. It's either spiritual or extraterrestrial, one of the two. Because I've been in so many situations I could have been killed, so many, but I haven't. I wasn't. So, Yeah. So, what was I going to talk about before? Now I forgot.
Well, I'll ask you some questions and maybe it'll come forward. What about close UFO encounters? Have you had any experiences like that?
Oh, I know what I was going to talk about. The vortexes. I did vortexes for 2 years, and they far more affect women than men. I would say 80% of the people that are affected by vortexes are women. Sometimes dramatically crying, intense pain in the stomach or whatever. But no, there was a lot of mental healings, but no physical. Well, I know of a couple of physical healings, but mostly they whatever they had wrong with them, they'd go home and it was gone. These serious mental things they had wrong with them. So
just by visiting the place?
Yep.
And going to the vortex spots, or does it have to be in those locations?
Yeah, it's the vortexes. There's more than 4 here, 4 or 5. That all the tourists go to. There's hundreds. In the canyons, there's hundreds of vortexes. So,
what is it? How do you know that there's a vortex there? What do you use?
You can feel it. The ones that are really strong, you can feel it. There's no question about it. And if you're sensitive, if your energy's sensitive, it can be dramatic. So there were healings, mental healings. They really, messed up. They'd go home and they'd be healed.
Wow.
That happened a lot with women, but rarely with a man.
But not so much physical healings.
No, I knew of only just 1 or 2.
Huh.
I'm going to have to close my I see the sun's going to be right on my face. So give me a second.
Oh, okay. You do that, and I'm going to pop up a question here.
All right.
This is from Kathy Cat. Tom, has your family had these experiences as well? Amazing experiences. So, are any of your family members?
No. Zero.
Yeah.
Well, excuse me. I grew up in Maine, and when I was born in Key West and grew up in Maine, but I had to come out here. And since I've been out here in the West, and here, excuse me, all that stuff has happened. So, and I don't know why. I have no idea. I'm always, like I say, I'm always saying, why me? And I've written 8 books about this stuff.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, Tom, I think my opinion is that it is our level of consciousness.
Yeah.
Certain ones of us came into this world in this lifetime with a higher level of consciousness, and then we kept at it and kept practicing it. Yeah. And so it stays high. And anyway, that's my opinion on that.
Was it I can't think. But anyway, I've talked about this when I've had as many as 9 million people listening to me on the show. I've been on Coast to Coast 3 times, prime time. Mm-hmm. And some of these people I deal with are so stupid it drives me nuts. So I came to Dolores Cannon. She said, never judge somebody, never. So so I stopped doing that quite a while ago. But chances are they've been here 100 times, and we've been here 1,000. That's my only explanation.
Reincarnations.
Yeah,
right. Different incarnations.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So older souls.
Yeah.
I get it. All right. You've got several books that we should just talk about real quick.
Yeah.
What is this one about? Obviously, Sedona.
Yeah, I was talking about that the other day on the internet. I got that book's been in print for 37 years. I wrote it in 14 days and I did all the artwork on it.
Oh, why?
It's been in print for 37 years now.
So and is that about when you started investigating that area?
Well, it's the stuff that I knew, some of the stuff that I sensed, and
okay.
See, back in the old days, people had experiences that were way different. I mean, this, I'm not cutting Sedona down, but Sedona used to be a place of absolute magic. The stuff that used to happen here, and it still does, but it's not. I mean, you go to, now there's places where it was 7 cars, and now there's parking for 300. And so the energy has been diluted. It really has.
Yeah.
I was here during the magic times, the real magic, when there was 70% fewer people here. So, yeah. So anyway, that's that book. I'm proud of that book. I mean, it's a kind of a silly book, but it's been in print for 37 years.
Okay, and what about this one?
Yeah, the Alien Tide. That I started when I came here. I'm gonna have this little line. I gotta close the blinds. See,
Okay.
it's getting through there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here. Now you're in the dark. Okay, but that's all right. We can hear you.
Okay. Let me try this. Yep.
Oh, that's better.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Makes me look younger.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, that book is when I started writing that book, I ran out of information, zero, and I put it out wherever I could, that if anybody had an experience with aliens, and I got inundated with information from all over, and then I finished writing the book, and that one's been in print for a long time too. But so anyway,
okay, so other people's experiences.
Yeah.
And then this one, Unseen Beings, Unseen Worlds.
Yeah, that one was kind of a dud. It needed to be rewritten at least 2 more times. I didn't. So it's out of print now. Completely out.
Okay. Well, we won't talk about that then.
No.
I found that on your website or Amazon.
Yeah, that's my pride and joy right there. I'm really proud of that book. Yeah, I've had endless positive comments about that. It's all about the Bradshaw Ranch. And
okay,
it's
merging
absolutely, merging dimensions. Yeah.
Merging Dimensions: The Incredible Saga of the Bradshaw Ranch by Tom Dongo and Linda Bradshaw.
Yeah, you see that windmill right down here at the bottom. There's been so many weird things happen. All the years, I was there almost 5 years, or 3 or 4 nights a week. I drive out there, and Linda and I, Bob Bradshaw, he had a UFO land in the apple orchard, and he started coming over the hill. He was on national news twice, and so this disc landed in the apple orchard, and it had discs, orbs, like about 50 of them all around it, followed me. And so Bob was interviewed on national UFO type news a couple of times, and Bob, it freaked him out so bad that Linda and I couldn't get him out. He'd stay and watch TV, and Linda would go in there and she said, "Bob, you've got to come out and see this." He wouldn't come out. He'd stay in there and watch TV. So oh yeah, I mean, yes, incredible stuff happens on the Bradshaw Ranch.
So there's a UFO outside, and he will not get up to go look at it. He wants to watch TV instead. Yeah, he
never came out again. He would not come out. He would just sit there and watch TV.
Do you think he was afraid?
Well, Bob was, he's an old Arizona cowboy. Cowboys aren't into this stuff, and that's the way Bob was.
Oh, okay.
He was just an old redneck Arizona cowboy. So he just wasn't into it. And so we took the pictures we got, Linda and I got in one night, are world famous. One night, just one thing after another. And I've got the blinds. Give me a second. I got to do this.
Okay. Oh my goodness! Yes, the sun.
Oh, it gets worse. I have to be careful about that in the show. I mean, I'll have a line right down the middle if I don't block that, if I don't close the blinds right. So anyway, Alejandro Rojas has been out there for a couple of days now. I mean, he's famous. He's a very famous guy from Chile, but he's had some experience that he thought was pretty awesome, pretty phenomenal. To me, it was nothing because I've been all the stuff that the windmill. That
Right.
windmill, there's something weird about that windmill. And almost 5 years I was out with Linda Bradshaw, and I never went up to that windmill. And that's one of the strangest places on this planet. The stuff that's happened up there. So
okay. Before you say anything else about the windmill, let me tell you what I saw when I remote viewed it a couple years ago.
Yeah.
I saw a portal opening at the windmill, and I saw a creature come out and go, maybe 20, 25 feet to a truck that was parked there and was messing around with the truck, and then it would go back in the portal next to the windmill.
Oh, interesting. It was near the windmill?
Yeah.
Well, that's bizarre. I'll tell you a story. There were 3 guys here. Ryan Skinner was one of them. He's one of the best researchers in the world. And I get a kick out of this. I really do. Some of this stuff just, to me, is really comical. But anyway, Ryan and a couple of other guys were out there they had the best scientific stuff, ground penetrating radar, the night vision stuff, the works. And so they spread out. One guy was in one place, another guy was in the middle. Then they spread out above and around the ranch, and so they saw there was a hill. We call it Bradshaw Hill. It was above the ranch, and they saw headlights, and the road goes to the right of the hill, because it goes down and around. But this car came down through the trees. A tank couldn't get through there. So they watched this headlights coming down, and it got down to it's super rough stuff, the terrain. So it's floating along with the headlights, and I've seen this sort of thing many times. So it went right through the fence, the chicken wire fence at the University of Northern Arizona has control of part of the ranch now for scientific research, plants and stuff. So it went right through the fence they'd put out there, and then a plowed field. It was, it was ruts. So it didn't go, bump like that, like a Jeep would. It just floated right across, and then it made a turn. And one of the guys, the middle guy, was looking down. He said just before that, some guy dressed in white had materialized, just appeared, and went behind the ranch house, and then came back out. And so where he came from, it's impossible to get there because it has cat's claw, acres of cat's claw. You can't get through cat's claw. It's got cat's claws all over these bushes. So the car turns around and parks near the ranch house, and I mean, there were headlights, tail lights. She opened the doors just like a car, and I've seen it so many times around here in different places. They're probably UFOs or whatever, I don't know. But anyway, she got out. She ran around behind the car, and she went behind the ranch house. And the first thing I said, did she have time to take a pee? And they all said no, she didn't. So the guy must have left something there for her to pick up. So she ran around and got back in the car, and it went back the way it went right through the fence, chicken wire fence, across this real rough, been plowed up, and then back up the hill, and it went the same way. Impossible. It's impossible. So
yeah, what do you think that was? A cloaked UFO?
Yeah, I don't know. They can do that. I've seen cars 1,000 feet up in the cliffs So you know it wasn't a car.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, one of the guys, this stuff, I get a kick. So one of the guys, the guy in the middle, near the windmill, got lost. They had to go find him. He went in the wrong direction. The ranch house was right there. So he goes the other way and gets lost. So these other, right, Brian and the other guy had to go looking for him. And he was so disoriented. He was disoriented for a couple of days. How he knew where he was. So something happened to him. They probably all had missing time. I asked, the first thing I asked them, do you guys have any missing time? They said, no, we checked our watches every minute. And we had no missing time. So anyway, stuff like that. It keeps me going. I don't know what's going to happen next. It's kind of stuff. It doesn't. It doesn't really doesn't bother me. The only thing I'm really not comfortable with is dogmen and skinwalkers.
Right.
I don't want to have anything to do with either of them. And I'm glad I didn't. Yeah. Well, no, but I'm glad I didn't know about that 50 years ago. My life, I would have done everything different. Because I've traveled all over North America, sometimes with a girlfriend, and I've camped in places so remote. Something happened, they wouldn't find me for 20 years.
Right.
So
yeah, and there are a lot of missing people, and
oh geez, yeah. The missing 411, David.
So you have not personally had encounters with skinwalkers or dogmen?
I've worked with all the Indian tribes, the Apaches, the Zunis, the Navajo, and anyway, I had the stuff that's happened to the Indians doesn't happen to us white folks. I mean, the Indians have things happen to them that if they trust you, they'll tell you what they it's phenomenal. I mean, it's nothing for an Indian to see an extraterrestrial. In not far from here, a UFO landed right in a woman's front yard. The extraterrestrials got out, walked around, and they do research. I mean, they're studying us. They were digging up plants, and they were real friendly, and they were humanoid, but they weren't. But she didn't bat an eye, because this stuff is so. I mean,
did she talk to them?
Oh yeah, they visited.
Yeah.
And that's not uncommon at all. So,
did she tell you what they said?
No, that's no.
Okay.
Usually, though, it's something about what we're doing to the Earth, the planet.
Right.
The stuff they remember is what how much damage we're doing to the Earth. That sort of thing.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Well, Tommy, you've had a lot of experiences, a lifetime of experiences. What's up next for you? Are you going to write another book? Are you going to research someplace else? You're going to keep on with Sedona?
Well, I really don't know. Like I say, I'm 80 years old. I really don't get out there at all, but I'm in the middle of a network. So I hear stuff before anybody else does. And that I like it, because I know so much already, about things, and so no, I have no plans, no books, or I have a couple more big shows, and then I'm probably going to retire after that. No.
Well, I'm glad I got you on here when I did. Well, I'll tell you what. The one question I've got to ask you: have you remote viewed the 3-Eye Atlas? And
no,
what
I haven't.
Do you think it is?
No, I haven't. But they, I won't know his name. I won't say his name. But he was famous remote viewer. He was always wrong. People would come to me and they're all freaked out. Is it true what he said? Is it true? I say no, it isn't. It's not going to happen. It's not, I mean, I've done that so many times, and if I mention his name, you know who I was talking about.
Well, if you do remote view it, will you let me know what you see?
Well, you know, the opinion is now scientifically that it's a UFO type thing, you know, a ship.
Yeah.
So it's giving off gases that some, you know, natural gases that a solid rock wouldn't, or a bunch of, you know, gob of ice wouldn't. So yeah, so it's going to be interesting when it gets closer.
Yeah, it will be interesting if they land and converse with us.
Well, you know, I've been studying extraterrestrials for 50 years, and you know, I'll agree with. I mean, you know, I'm not going to get into any squabbles. I won't do it anymore. I won't say something that's going to get me in a, you know.
I get it.
a doo-doo fight. You know, I just don't.
Yeah.
I won't do it. So,
okay.
But anyway, I forgot what I was going to say.
Well, we are going to have to wrap it up. So everybody go get this book, Merging Dimensions, by Tom Dongo and Linda Bradshaw. Sounds incredible. I am going to get it and can't wait to read it. And thank you so much for being on the show with me tonight, Tom.
Yeah, if you can put it on my website, I couldn't do it today. Just didn't work. But if you put the show, just put it on there, and I'll make some comments about it later.
Oh, okay.
And if you can put the link where to see it,
I will send you everything.
Yeah, it'll be tomorrow. You know, YouTube and all that. So
actually, I've already sent it.
Oh, you did?
I sent you the YouTube link. Yes.
Okay.
You got it.
Okay.
All right, everybody. Stay tuned because we have another show coming up in about 5 minutes.